Hi guys, it's Sheena from Teton Raptor Center and I'm here to give you all this week's patient updates. So let's go ahead and get started. First up this week is our newest patient. Here we have Osprey 5'2" from Worland, Wyoming. And this bird is dealing with a couple different injuries. He's got some head trauma going on, and then he's also got some soft tissue damage in his left ear. So when a bird first comes in, we check everything on the bird, and that includes examining both of their ears. And we found that on the left ear, there's some dried blood and kind of an old wound. So we had to clean that out and kind of see what was going on. We took some x-rays, and you can see on the x-rays that the left ear is a little bit more swollen. So we started this bird on some anti-inflammatory medication. He's also on fluids. However, this bird is also emaciated, so very, very thin. And when you have a very thin bird like this, you can't just give them a ton of food and hope that they'll gain weight, because it really shocks their system. And so instead, we're gonna start with 3 small meals of fish every day, and we're gradually gonna be increasing that meal until this bird starts feeling better. Here we have Common Raven 5'1" from Driggs, Idaho. This raven unfortunately got stuck in a building and has some wounds on his right and left metacarpus, wrist, and foot. So here's a quick picture of getting those wounds cleaned out. And then here we've got him hanging out in his oxygen ICU, and we've got a platter of food for them. Since ravens are omnivorous, we not only offer them meat, but we can also offer vegetables and fruit. In his plate, you can see he's got a little bit of dog food that we soak as well. And then because ravens are really, really smart animals, we want to create some sort of enrichment for them so that we can stimulate them mentally and not just help them heal physically. So we've also got a lot of enrichment opportunities for him when he's feeling better, as well as that mirror in there. Next up is Barn Owl 429 from Afton, Wyoming. It's been several years since Teton Raptor Center admitted a barn owl, and they're actually considered for being listed as an endangered or threatened species in the state of Idaho. So unfortunate news for these barn owls. However, this guy came in with a fractured humerus and some soft tissue damage after an injury with fencing. And so we put this bird through surgery and orthopedically pinned that fractured right humerus. The surgery went really well and was very successful. So here's the bird just recovering in his oxygen unit. Next up, we've got Swainsons Hawk 426 from Freedom, Wyoming. This bird came in with eye trauma to the left eye, but is healthy otherwise. We think that this left eye got cut on some barbed wire or something like that. There is a small laceration on the eyelid itself and on the nictitating membrane. You can see in this video clip here, we're just using our fingers to gently touch the corner of the eye to evaluate that nictitating membrane. And you can see it's kind of partially closing. There's a globulin structure on the eye that's kind of preventing it from closing all the way, but he is capable of closing it, as you'll see in just a moment. So it does close all the way, but he is going to be on medicated eye drops 3 times a day until we start to see progress with that eye. Next up, we've got Swainsons Hawk 425. This bird came in from Ammon, Idaho, and unfortunately was shot. As a reminder, shooting raptors is not legal. As a result, this bird has a fracture in her left ulna and some small soft tissue damage to the left wing. There was a lot of bruising when this bird first came in. The whole wing was super black and bruised. We've been doing cold laser therapy regularly, so that has brought the bruising down a lot more. However, the fracture was caused by a BB pellet that's now lodged in the bird's elbow. So with this kind of case, unfortunately, it's sort of a wait and see. We're gonna keep this bird in a wing wrap and do physical therapy and cold laser therapy regularly, but we won't really know how this is going to impact the bird's flight until that bone is fully healed. And unfortunately, we can't really remove the BB pellet from the bird because it's in such a precarious area that where there's so many tendons and important parts of the body that going in to surgically remove it can actually do more harm than good. And so we kind of have to outweigh the risks here, and given that that is a very risky area to remove a pellet from, we're most likely just going to leave it in the bird and see how she flies once everything's healed. Next up, we've got Great Horned Owl 311 from Riverton, Wyoming. This bird is now out in the flight barn and is looking really good. Here you can see some nice slow-mo flights that we captured on video. She's been a really good flyer, but now we just got to get her live prey testing, and once she has proven that she is capable of hunting, we can start gearing her up for release. Last but not least is Golden Eagle 3-9, and this bird came from Pinedale, Wyoming with a fractured right ulna and some severe soft tissue damage to that right wing. Luckily, the ulna is pretty much fully healed at this point. We actually removed the wrap from this bird and we're doing physical therapy regularly. We moved him to a bigger enclosure where he's able to perch up high, he can stretch his wings, and then in another week we'll move him to an even bigger space and we'll slowly get him moved out to the flight barn. He's going to need a lot of physical therapy because his joints are still really stiff, and we want to make sure he's able to get to the full range of motion so that he is able to fly. But we're on par for the course here with this guy. Some of these kinds of orthopedic injuries just take time. All right, that's all we've got for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed learning more about our birds. Remember that if you want to do your part to help keep wild birds wild, you can check out our website at tetonraptorcenter.org and make a donation. You can also click the link in the description below, and that will take you right to our donate page. We'll see you guys next Friday. Bye!